And you don't think Saco's sewer system needs improvement? Think again. The EPA has required that over $3 million of modernization be done within the next 2 years. Updating Saco's sewer system will create more jobs and at the same time a cleaner environment. Don't drop the ball. On November 2nd, be on the winning team by voting yes on the sewer improvement bond. Paid for by the Saco Business Association.
If you love Chinese food, and who doesn't, the Oriental Express is about to become your favorite restaurant. Newly opened on Route 1 in Saco, the Oriental Express has great Chinese food at very reasonable prices. Eat in their pleasant dining room and no tipping, or call up and take out from their pickup window. The Oriental Express is a place to satisfy your late-night munchies, open Friday and Saturday till 2 a.m. Combination plates always available, and check their weekly specials. From beef lo mein to cashew shrimp, your favorite dish from the Oriental Express. Don't go home without it.
Tired of eating where the prices are hearty and the food is fair? Then let the Carey family take you back a century and dine where the food is hearty and the prices are fair. For 16 years, the Careyman Pub has been an institution of fine family dining at affordable prices in a warm, rustic atmosphere. Upstairs, the pub is the place to be from Thursday through Saturday, with karaoke on Thursday and live entertainment Friday and Saturday. So whether it's to unwind for lunch or after work, or a sumptuous dinner and dancing, visit the Careyman Pub for a bit of the Emerald Isle right here in Maine.
Good afternoon and welcome to Hills Stadium in Saco as we get set for Thornton Academy boys soccer action. The Golden Trojans hosting the Deering Rams in their last contest of the 1993 season. Thornton Academy coming in 3-8-2, Deering at 10-2-1 as we get the starting lineup for Thornton Academy this afternoon. And of course, Trojan seniors playing their last soccer game for Thornton Academy. Got to be an emotional afternoon for the seniors down below, and Eric Thurlow, one of the seniors, Ben Lozier in the booth with us this afternoon, and he has already played his last game of the year. Jeff Dunham, Frank Apicella, Scott St. Onge, and also Nate Allery, the seniors for Thornton Academy playing their last contest. Hello everybody, Jay Harper along with Ben Lozier and Steve Poulos doing our camera work. And we'll now get set for a national anthem played by Father Don Lozier. And hopefully today he's going to come far enough down for us to get him on camera. Plays a heck of a trumpet, but he's not good at camera angles. Pause now for a national anthem on CTV 30. Don Lozier, today's national anthem, as he does for all the boys' soccer contests. And Thornton Academy coming in here trying to finish up the season with an upset victory over their highly touted Deering Rams. An excellent team, and they're led by John Groff, senior, with 14 goals and 6 assists. And also the McKenzie brothers. Paul has 7 goals, 8 assists. Peter has 9 goals with 11 assists. And then Derek Schelling, 11 goals and 5 assists. Look for those 4 this afternoon. The McKenzie twins are juniors, as is Schelling. And Groff, the only senior for the Rams. Partly sunny afternoon, breezy as per usual, and cooling off. We had a very nice day today, much better than our contest here on Tuesday, where Bonnie Eagle defeated Thornton Academy in that one, 5-0, and that was in a rainy, cold afternoon. A little bit better conditions for the Trojans this afternoon. And Ben, as you come up here and you think about the fact that the seniors playing their last contest for Thornton Academy in soccer, that has already happened to you. How have you dealt with that, and how do you think the seniors down below are thinking right now about this final contest?
Well, I really had no idea that this was going to be my last game against Noble, so I couldn't prepare for it really. I talked to a couple of seniors today, and they're really psyched. They want an upset here, salvage a little pride.
Thornton starts with a kickoff. Waterhouse sends it down in. It's broken up by the Rams. They're at midfield. Deering in purple jerseys. Thornton Academy in the all-white. Pribish kicks it up the sideline, looking for Waterhouse. Waterhouse pokes it up ahead. Dunham with it, with a cross. Good cross. Waterhouse still with it, sending it back for Allery. Can't get a good kickoff. Seth Landry a couple of chances there as Thornton Academy applies some good pressure early. Some nice passing in the middle. And now kicked out of bounds by the Rams. It'll be a throw-in for Thornton Academy. Just underway at Hill Stadium, the final contest of the regular season for Thornton Academy Golden Trojan soccer team. And the Rams moving on into the playoffs undoubtedly as they come in 10-2-1 on the season. Their 2 defeats to Sanford and Bonnie Eagle, and they tied Westbrook yesterday in a great game, 3-3. And I was talking with a friend of mine who went to that contest, one of the assistant coaches of Portland High School, and he said that was just a marvelous soccer game. Deering with a direct kick. And they'll poke it up and just try to use some ball control now. Rams moving it upfield, and St. Ange trying to break it up, not able to. Up the sideline to Paul McKenzie. Over for his brother Peter, and then kick back out for Matt Kaplan. Kaplan has a nice shot, but it hits the side of the net and picked up by goalkeeper Bill Parody. Nice kick out by senior Eric Thurlow, headed back in, and in comes Peter McKenzie. Kicks it wide, looking on the right side for Schelling. Goes over the goal line, and it'll be another kick out for Thornton Academy. Nice booming kick out.
Thurlow's been getting those out to midfield all year. Could be used as a great weapon.
St. Ange coming up the sideline, looking to send it in for Waterhouse. Waterhouse broken up in the back by the Rams. Paul McKenzie sends it up the sideline for Ratha Trey. Over for Peter McKenzie. Playing good defense is Duquette for the Trojans. Knocked out of bounds. Throw in for Deering. Opening moments, first half, no score. Looking for Paul McKenzie. He's able to keep it in bounds. Rams, very patient team. Great ball control. And a nice ball in the middle. And headed out by Thornton Academy.
Very disciplined team. They don't take shots unless it's right there.
Apicella sending it up for Dunham. Back in the middle for St. Ange. Allery can't get it. Landry loses it. And it's picked up by Rogoff. In knocks it out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Trojans. Nice kick in the middle for Pribish. Pribish trying to make something happen. Goes back with it. Hooks it back around for Allery. Allery trying to send it up the side for Landry. Knocked out of bounds. I suppose the good news, if Thorne Academy can at least keep Deering off the board for 5 or 10 minutes, that'll be an improvement because they've given up the early goal in their last 2 contests. Well, the last 2 we've covered. Of course, the 4-0 win coming over Massabesic in between.
Interesting statistic. Every time Thornton scored first this year, they've won, so see what happens.
That's similar to the girls field hockey team. The only time they win is when Patterson, the goalkeeper, records a shutout. And when Sanford scored first yesterday, I said, well, if that stat's true, Thornton will lose today. And they did go on to lose. A chance for Paul McKenzie, barreling in, a centering pass, kick, score. Very unselfish play by number 14, Paul McKenzie, as he sent it over in the middle for his teammate. Let's see if that was Schelling or not. McKenzie made that happen. Looked like he was going to try to take the shot in on parity, and instead he made the nice crossing pass over, and Deering takes the lead. And just as we said, they keep him off the board for 5 minutes and 6 seconds.
Deering goal scored at 34-54 the first half by number 15, Derek Schelling, assisted by number 14, Paul McKenzie.
Was Schelling, and McKenzie with a fine assist.
That's what you don't want to see is one of the McKenzies playing with the ball in the 18. It's so dangerous.
Score! Headed in, it looked like by Landry. What a play, Seth Landry.
That's a great play by Seth.
And Thorne Academy right back. My goodness, didn't waste any time.
I believe that's Seth's first goal of the year.
And that coming 30 seconds later.
Let's see if Thornton can build on this now. They've applied some good pressure so far.
I'll definitely give you a replay on that one. Thorne Academy broke in off the kickoff. Ball with bounding in, Waterhouse and Landry both there.
Thorne Academy goal scored at 34-26 of the first half by number 8, Seth Landry, assisted by number 18, Nate Allery.
And Allery gets the assist. Allery boomed it in, and Landry and Waterhouse chase. Landry getting the head on it, and knocking it past Daniels.
I thought it was Thurlow that put that in there, but I could be wrong. See how Thornton reacts to this now. So far, I'm sure Coach Davis is very pleased with the way they're playing.
Said to players down below today, I said, guys, let's have a big upset, but if not, at least let's knock a few in so we can get a little excited up here in the booth. Of course, now the home crowd coming to life for the Trojans, as they have tied it up. We're at 1-1, 33-45 to play in the first half. Trey coming in, and Mahesh Paler doing a good job marking up and knocking it over the end line. It'll be a corner for the Rams. Good shot in, headed up high and out by Thorne Academy. Good play in there by Landry again. I think Landry was the one who got the head on that. Nice job. Seth holds his head a little bit and says, wow, that was a booming kick, and he really put a good knock on it.
Seth has never been afraid to use his head.
proving it with the big goal for the Trojans.
You see more white on the ball in those goal kicks than we did Tuesday.
Another break in for Schelling, loops it up and just over the net. Parity was flying out to try to get to it. Schelling got there first and had a nice attempt. Just a little bit high over the net. Broken up by Nate Allery, knocked out of bounds. Throw in for the Rams. Jay Harper along with senior Ben Lozier, player for Thornton Academy boys soccer team, out with an injury for the last 3 games of the season. Up in the booth with us, doing camera work today, Steve Poulis.
Nate's all over the place today, playing great D.
Really is, and Nate was one of the ones I talked to about. I was sitting down there when somebody else said to him, "What are you thinking about this being the last game?" And he's like, "Well, I haven't really thought of it. Loose Paul McKenzie trying to work, and it's knocked over the goal line, and I think they'll award a corner for the Rams." But he said, really hadn't thought about it, but and he started to think about it. He says, yeah, kind of weird. Kicked in, and Parity with a nice save goes down and scoops the grounded ball in and hammers out a nice line drive punt. Good play coming up for Deering. I don't have a listing of it, number 13. Let me check this other one. It'd be senior Burt Cowley. Let's see if we can find him on this roster. I don't.
You see the offside trap come into play again there.
Pribish booms it up high, and Landry and Waterhouse will chase. Landry with it, trying to make something happen, and he kicks it over the goal line. Chance there again for Thornton Academy, down to 30 minutes and 15 seconds to play. First half, Thornton and Deering tied at 1. Goals by Schelling of Deering and Landry of Thornton Academy. Trey, little fancy footwork, and tries to send it up the sideline for McKenzie. Goes out, and a throw in. Nice booming throw in by St. Ange, and there's Cowley again with the head. St. Ange takes the throw in again. Nice long throw and hit it again.
That's Landry using his head again.
Just knocked it wide. Seth, a junior. Nice play by Trey as he pops it up. Paul McKenzie working with St. Ange. St. Ange doing a great job just staying with the man.
Just got to do with the McKenzie is deny the turn. Once
Broken
they're
up.
facing you, you never know.
Chance for Waterhouse to run in. Goaltender Daniels comes out and makes the save as Dunham and Waterhouse were closing in. Pribish falls down, rolls over the ball. A little bit shaken up. Rogoff pops it in the middle, gets it off for Graney. Ryan Graney comes in, looking up for Peter McKenzie. And we get an offsides call against Deering and Peter McKenzie. As we mentioned, Deering at 10-2-1, ranked number 4 right now in the heel point standings. And only slightly behind Bonnie Eagle and Cape Elizabeth, so they got a shot at moving up. Of course, Thornton will not give them a lot of heel points if they come away with a victory. Not sure who Bonnie Eagle, Cape, and Westbrook finish up their season with, but it's very tight between the top 4 teams, and then a drop-off when you go from Deering to Lewiston from the 4-5 position. Deering has 112.9.959, and then you go down to Lewiston at 90.510.
Another chance right there by Jamie.
Burke Colley will kick it away. A good one. St. Ange with a good head, but it hits off the back of Trey. He sends it off to the other side, and Dunham gets jumped all over on the headed ball out. Graney now with the head play. Apicella gets hammered over on the head, and Thornton fans want a call. They don't get one. Should there have been a call there, Ben, in your estimation?
Well, Frank seemed to be going for the body a little bit more than the ball. Could have gone either way. That guy was all over him, but
Good pop ball. Waterhouse trying to get to Landry. Landry able to contain it. Tries to cross it in the middle, but there is Cowley to boom it out. Academy playing a much more controlled game today, and now a break in for the Rams. Paler back, and Schelling wide open on the other side. The ball comes in, and he pops it up.
it's another great play right there by McKenzie.
Excellent play. And you saw before the pass, though, Derek Schelling was getting
Number 9.
mad looking for the ball. It looks like he was already going to blame McKenzie for not getting it to him, and McKenzie just waiting for the right moment. And now Schelling's even yelling at him, telling him to give him the ball sooner.
Definitely one of the most unselfish players I've ever seen.
Yeah, Derek Schelling, probably one of the most selfish we've ever seen. My goodness, he's already set you up for 1 goal and gave you a good set for a chance at a second one, and you're complaining. Substitution for Thornton Academy. Scott Fournier checks in. Allery will sit down for a break.
Scott Fournier.
Scott St. Ange with a long throw-in. Popped up in the middle. Apicella looking for it. Can't get it. It's taken away by Peter McKenzie. McKenzie pushed in the back, and they'll call that one. 25 minutes to play. First half, 1-1 our score. Thornton Academy and Deering High School Soccer on CTV 30. Thornton Academy knocks it out. Paler goes up high, and I call a dangerous kick on Paler.
This ref's pretty far out. I don't know if he can really call that from there. Didn't look too dangerous to me.
Now, is this a direct kick or indirect? Looks like a direct, doesn't it?
I think it is.
Direct kick for the Rams, a big chance. Thornton Academy puts a wall in front. And here comes Deering, indirect because they had to tap it, and then the kick goes booming. Be good for 3 in football, but nothing in the contest today. Kick up for Apicella. He sends it up for Dunham.
Nice ball down there.
Dunham breaks in with it. Waterhouse got to watch the offsides call. Comes back in the middle. Fournier, though, kicks it high. He got a bouncing ball and got it up off the shin.
I think Thornton's had more chances today than they have all day Tuesday.
I would agree with that. Definitely the offensive play is much more present today than it was on the wet day on Tuesday. Thornton again, though, the 5-0 score. They did play well with Bonnie Eagle for most of the game, and some tough breaks. And Bonnie Eagle, of course, one of the best teams in Western A. Bonnie Eagle 11-1-1, and Thornton Academy having a tough run to finish up their schedule last week with the number 3 and 4 teams. Popped out Fournier trying to go for it. It's Paul McKenzie breaking up the middle, and he loses it. Falls back for Schelling. Now
Got something there.
McKenzie will send it for his brother Peter. Peter McKenzie coming in on Paler. Tries to make the move. He does. Breaks right in on
Great
Parody.
play by Billy Parody right there.
What a beautiful play by Parody. He dove down and played the ball and didn't wait, and he just took it right off the foot on Peter McKenzie.
Jeff Dunham going to the ball well there.
Files sends it up. Trey looking deep. Goes off to the side. Scott Fournier now pops it up and sends it up for Landry. Landry knocks it down, contains it, and it's poked out of bounds by Rogoff. Thornton will have a throw-in.
Thornton playing a very more controlled game today than they did on Tuesday.
Entering to Thornton, number 22, Dennis Gaines.
Gaines checks in now for the Trojans. Great throwing by St. Orange. As he was saying last contest, he certainly can throw that ball in a long way.
It's like a corner kick.
Really is. What is that, just arm strength, or is it technique that allows him to throw it so far?
I think it's a little of both.
Nice steal by Schelling, and he booms it up for McKenzie. Duquette giving chase, trying to mark him. McKenzie still with it. They bump him off it. He stays in. It comes through the middle. Chance for Schelling. Schelling broken up, and then Parody will come out and make the save. Boy, they're dangerous, but Thorn Academy doing a very good job defensively to this point in the contest. 1-1 on score, 21-20 to play in the first half. Jay Harper along with Ben Lozier. Steve Poulos doing the outstanding job on the camera this afternoon. Let's try to get on your good side today, Steve, so I won't get slammed like I did last game. Yeah. Paler knocks it out. That reminds me of last game, Ben, too. We both liked the White Sox, wanted the White Sox, but we feared Dave Stewart, and we were rightfully so in fearing Stewart as he pitches the Jays to a second consecutive World Series trip. And then the Phillies doing the unthinkable to the Braves, knocking them out in 6 games as well. So it'll be Philadelphia and Toronto, and I'm going to like Philadelphia or want Philadelphia, but I think Toronto's the better team.
Yeah,
but we will see. This Philadelphia team has a lot of resilience, and they're a scrappy bunch.
Yeah, here's Thornton with another chance.
Apicella trying to get to it. Thornton Academy with the throw-in. Pribish, the good centering pass. Waterhouse, point blank, score!
It's just great passing by Thornton Academy today.
Pribish setting it up. Giving it to Waterhouse, and Waterhouse with one little move and got in close range and just hammered it high into that. And the Trojans take a 2-1 lead with 19:57 remaining in the first half.
I think Deering's stunned right now. Thornton's come out so strong today.
They are. They're down talking to their goalkeeper, Daniels. They're looking at him for a moment saying, you know, come out, make the play. But Daniels caught a little bit off guard, and a great play by Pribish along that far sideline.
Scored at 19:57 in the first half.
Everybody on Thornton's playing well, going to the ball.
Assisted by number 4, Rob Pribish.
Great play by Pribish. And then Waterhouse knowing what to do with it when he got in close. I should have asked more often. Right, Rick?
That's right. Thornton looks a little, Deering looks a little frustrated down there in the net.
Boy, they're having a long meeting down below as they now trail 2-1 to Thornton Academy, and I'm sure they're saying, how can this be? Thornton Academy playing their last game. A tough season as they've fought through a 3-8-2 record. Know that if they could pull the big upset here, they could walk off very proud of their efforts on this season and cause Deering some problems. Deering now will send it back and look to set up some ball control. McKenzie with St. Ange on him. St. Ange did a great job last time and does it again.
A win here would be such a sweet end to a frustrating season.
I think that's the key word. Frustrating would be the proper word to use because, again, it's never easy to have more losses than wins, but I think this team has played hard all year, and I think there is some talent there. And just because they don't have the great record doesn't mean that these kids haven't worked and played their hearts out in the season. And again, frustrating because you don't get the W's and you play against some very good opponents. Some very good soccer being played in Western A right now, and we've seen it the last couple of games with Bonnie Eagle and now Deering, and before that Noble. Noble at 7-6 now. They must have dropped their last 2 games, and they are at number 11. Top 8 get in the boys action, and we got a ruling on the girls. It's not the top 9. We knew it had to be an odd number, and it was. Well, I knew it had to be because they were saying the first place team would get a bye. They take the top 7 only, so they've knocked it down. There's only 14 teams, so they go 50%. Top 7 teams will get in. The number 1 team gets the bye. Goes out of bounds off McKenzie. It'll be a throw-in for the Trojans as Thurlow now re-enters.
Number 1, Everett Thurlow.
Jake Duquette will get a breather. And Thorne Academy with a win over McCauley yesterday, and Greeley lost to York. We told you that was a possibility. Nice kick in by Landry, but a good headed ball out of there. Then it goes off the side of Pribish's head. That had to sting. And upfield it goes. St. Ange goes up with it with Schelling. Derek Schelling looks like a very physical soccer player. He's a big kid and he's very aggressive. We've seen he's boisterous as well. Thurlow with a booming ball down in there. Pribish. Well, it's actually Dunham going up. He had a chance. Tyrone Daniels now will throw it up the middle.
You say Schelling's seems aggressive. Scott St. Ange can hold his own out there too. Not going to back down to anyone.
Peter McKenzie with the ball back in the middle. Schelling gets it. Schelling now will boom one high in the air, and that could be dangerous. Parity coming out right in front of Peter McKenzie to make the save, and that was. It looked like for a moment it was going to go over the goal line, but it held up, and dangerous ball. And
I think that once again shows Schelling's selfishness. He had a couple guys open, opted to take the shot.
tough play, and Parity makes it again. Paul McKenzie got to the ball just ahead of Parity, hammered it into his body, and then the bounce, and able to field it and get back on it was Bill Parity, the junior goalkeeper for the Trojans. A nice punch ball in by Apicella. A good job heading it back out by Denny Albert of the Rams. This definitely the best contest we've seen so far this year. Enjoying a very exciting first half. 16:25 to play. Thorne Academy leading 2-1 on goals by Seth Landry and Jamie Waterhouse. Robert Pribish, a great assist on that second goal to Waterhouse.
Number 12, Peter Trizolar.
Trizolar checks in for Deering in the middle,
Schelling seemed to push his own player right there.
and they call a push on Thorne Academy. They're trying to roll the ball up. Boy, they're spotting it awful close. That should be back a little bit. They're going to let him take it from there. Punch ball looking for Schelling down the side. And Thurlow right there with him. And they're going to give the Rams now the corner. Getting back to the girls, York did beat Greeley 3-1 yesterday. George Mendoz said it was a possibility. It was at York. It felt like it could happen. It did happen. And he said, nice sending ball in. Waterhouse gets it off the body, and it goes back over the goal line, a second corner. But he's 99.9, the guru. That Thorne Academy girls team will hold on to the #1 ranking and get the bye in the first round. In the middle, Schelling with a good headed ball, and Parity coming out making the save, and a good play by Mahesh Pela there. He just marked his man, held his man in front, and left room for Parity to come up and make the save. Smart play by the sophomore.
If the girls do stay in first, there's a possibility of them playing on the morning of the Biddeford Thornton game.
No, if they didn't stay in first, they would play on the morning of the Thornton Biddeford game.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
So at this point, Guru tells us 99.9% sure, and that's pretty sure for George Mendros, that Thornton should keep their #1 ranking. We have to thank York for that one. Thornton girls getting a 5-1 victory over Catherine McCauley yesterday. See if I can recall all the goals scored for Thornton. Courtney Canan got one, Ladakakis got one, Moteal got one, Sherman got one. Long pass up. Paul McKenzie overruns it, and it goes down, and Mahesh Paler now will try to kick it off the end line. Does he get it? Give him a throw-in, or do they get a corner out of that?
Tracy Saucier also had a goal on a penalty kick.
And there's the 5th.
Girls team is such an exciting team to watch this year. Could see them going all the way.
11-2-1. Currently ranked #1 with 128.469 heel points. A nice headed ball in, and Peter McKenzie with a good headed ball, and parity right there.
Positioned himself great on that shot.
Good headed ball by Pribish down the sideline. Dunham giving chase, and Cowley wisely just pokes it out of bounds.
Looks like little words there with Dunham and Cowley.
Re-entering for Thornton Academy, number 18, Nate Allery.
Thornton Academy fell behind 1-0, 5:06 into the first half, and then they came back with 2 goals. The first one only 30 seconds later to knot it back up, and then taking the lead 4 minutes later. That's where we stand, 2-1. Thornton Academy over Deering. Greeley's total points in the girls' standings, 110.205, so good 18 points behind, and that's why George Mendros feels like that they can't catch them even if they do win their final contest. They have one more game to play. Won't be enough heels there. Thurlow trying to do something, broken up, and now Allery breaks it back up. A lot of bunched up bodies, and finally getting out is Files. Throwing for the Rams. Kept in bounds by McKenzie. Allery trying to get it. Stolen back by Paul McKenzie coming down the sideline.
Nice job by Thurlow there, getting it out of bounds.
Thurlow diving down, and good tackle to knock it out. It'll be a throw-in for the Rams.
Kenzie's have been pretty much ineffective today because great defensive job by Thornton.
Great move there by Paul McKenzie. Comes back in, and Taylor's there to knock it over the goal line. It'll be a corner kick. Paul McKenzie using St. Ange on that one. A great move around him. St. Ange fell to the turf, and
Once again, opting to pass off there instead of shooting.
long corner kick out, and Dunham pokes it up the sideline. Jeff Dunham with only one man back, looks in the middle for Pribish. Pribish sends it back up the sideline and broken up nicely by Cowley. He's played superbly when he's been called upon. Thornton has kind of passed them twice, but they've had a lot of other chances thwarted by the senior, Burke Cowley.
Game for Thornton, number 7, Brian Dumays, number 16, Scott Fournier, and number 17, David Hill.
Hill and Dumays come in for their first appearance on the afternoon. Fournier returns. Taylor, good job as Kenzie barreling in on him.
Good timing there.
Everybody goes up for the head, and they bump bodies, and nobody gets the head on it. Good
That's an
pass out in
offsides right
front, and offsides on the Rams.
Once again, the outside trap worked effectively there.
You take that rule away in this, there'd be a lot of break-in chances. You would think that they'd make a rule like in ice hockey. There's a line there that the ball has to go in, but they use the defense as the offside ruling. And doing the Thornton Academy girls field hockey game yesterday, the improper advancement call, when it hits one of the girls' foot, they blow it and whistle it if it hits the foot, whether it's intentional or unintentional. And that's the calls 90% of the time. You take those two calls out of both these games, and changed the games vastly.
Take out the offsides and you'll have 10-goal games.
I'm all for that. Now these rules, are they the same in international play as well?
Yep. Yep.
Of course, the World Cup coming this year, 1994. You're going to have a chance, Ben, to try to get down to Foxborough and catch any of the action?
I'd like to.
Exciting. I'm sure we'll get some pretty good TV coverage. So World Cup comes to the red, white, and blue. Chance for McKenzie. Peter coming in, getting back. Now the Trojan. Paler falls down. Both defenders fall down. A rifling shot in on Parity, and he makes the short side save. Lucky break for Thornton as both defenders, Paler and Gaines, fell down. Long kick up the sideline, and Dunham trying to get to it. Nearly did. Great hustle by Jeff Dunham.
Now entering for Deering, number 7, Ratha Frey. Number 24, Brian Brady.
Dunham went streaking down that sideline. Almost came up with that one.
Streaking with his clothes on. Wonder how long will take before that makes another appearance as a fad across the country. Of course, very famous back when I was in junior high and early high school days, and then it disappeared and made a brief appearance. About 6 or 7 years ago, I think it started hitting college campuses again, and now it's gone again.
You never involved that way, Jay.
I take the 5th. Centering pass in the middle. It's loose for Trey, and he can't handle it as he got a little bit anxious. Kicked that over the end line. It'll be a straight kick out for the Trojans. Down to 7:25 to play in the first half. Thornton Academy leading number 4 ranked Deering by a score of 2-1. Dunham again working along that sideline. Can't keep it in bounds. Had a chance to go to the Portland Pirates home opener last night, catching the first 2 periods. I had to leave and go to one of my other jobs, but pretty exciting. Some good hockey. I was not impressed with the pregame stuff. They built up the pregame stuff like it was going to be this big, elaborate affair and everything, and there was a little bit of smoke, and the players come out under a light, and there was one pirate there and shot off one gun, and that was it. And if that's how they're going to draw fans is by their hype and the hoopla, they gotta go back to the drawing board and get something done, because that was nothing to get anybody excited about. A little bit of rock and roll, and a police car came out, and the pregame stuff, of course, most people don't go there for that. They go for the good hockey, but we've been promised by the Pirates that they would give us all kinds of exciting entertainment as well as the hockey game, and that didn't happen, folks.
I go for the fights. Any fights last night?
A couple. Nothing too bad, but there were a couple of tussles. AHL hockey, you see a lot of fights. Parity way out of the net and slides and makes the save. Good 25 yards out. Parity getting better foot on the ball here this afternoon. Booming kick again. She's had a couple of nice ones today.
Leo Files on Dunham right now. They played on the Olympic development team together.
Broken up by Schelling, and here comes the Mackenzies and Schelling. And Mahesh Paler there, but he doesn't get a big foot on it. A good job by Thornton. But again, Deering back in position, moving up the field. Pribish comes back in. And now it's Derek Schelling. Schelling has Deering's only goal. Broken up, kept in, and now finally a little bit of breathing room. But then there's Files again. He'll send one down, and that'll be offsides on Deering.
He's getting worried there, a little late call.
Thornton Academy again using the offside play as they all came running up and through the Rams offsides. But the Pirates won 3-2, and they played some excellent hockey. But then right after they win, they call up goaltender Defoe, their leading scorer Kowalchuk, and also Peak all leave to head up to the Washington Capitals, who are now 0-5, I think, on the season. So the Capitals in trouble, and already they take 3 of the best players off the Portland squad. And we were hoping that Washington wouldn't do much of that this season. Break in for McKenzie. Paler getting over. A good move inside. And again, McKenzie working his magic. A high shot just over the net.
It's a good job by Mahesh, not letting him get by.
You can see the moves and speed of McKenzie, and that is not an easy job to do, especially for a sophomore going against the likes of the McKenzies and Schelling. Haven't seen much of Groff today.
I think he's out. I think he's the one on crutches down there.
Groff came into this game with 14 goals and 6 assists, and big loss for the Rams if he's out. And
I think he had 2 against us last game.
a long kick down in and trying to catch up to it is Trizalar, and he can't. Be another kick out for Thornton Academy as Thornton tries to maintain a 2-1 lead into the half. Nice kick out again by St. Ange. Waterhouse pops it up in the middle, and there's Cowley headed back. And now Apicella looking for Landry. Landry blocks it, trying to kick it across the middle, and just missing on Jeff Dunham on the cut attempt. Good headed ball. Files pops it up, looking for Schelling. Schelling heads it down the far sideline. Apicella giving chase, trying to protect it and let it roll out of bounds. Instead, the last minute, Trey got there, and it forced Apicella to just kick it out. Be a throw-in for the Rams. Clouds moving in, cooling off, but the wind has died a little bit. Not too bad this afternoon compared to yesterday's windy, blustery day covering the field hockey. This was great up here in the booth. Gonna have to get them to build a broadcast booth over to field hockey. Field break in for McKenzie, and he gets it off the side of the net. My goodness, he had a great angle. He had the whole far side of the net to shoot at, and he hammered it off the short side of the net. Thornton Academy dodges another bullet. That one coming off a .44 Magnum. Close range, McKenzie.
I think that's the first break we've got all year.
Files pokes it in the middle, looking for Schelling, and Paler booms it out of bounds. Deering had to hold up, stay on sides. Again, that offsides call. Deering players cannot be in front of any or all the defenders. They cannot be in front of them. Chip shot across, and looking for Trizalar, and it just goes over the end line. And nice centering pass by the Rams down to the 1-minute mark in the first half. Thornton Academy leading 2-1 over the highly touted Deering Rams. Deering coming in 10-2-1. They lost the opening game of the season to Sanford, a game that they said they weren't really ready for. You would have to think, looking at the heels and the two teams, Sanford 5-7-1 on the season, and after that they lost the one game to Bonnie Eagle and then tied Westbrook yesterday 3-3 as the Blue Blazes played a whale of a game. Of course, Westbrook right now ranked number 1 in the boys' standings. So actually, both teams playing a whale of a game, and Deering doing a great job. We've had a great one here in the first half. Loose in the middle for Pribish. Pribish, kick up for Dunham. Dunham trying to drop it for Apicella. Apicella is broken up. Pribish, 3, 2, 1, and that'll do it in the first half. And Thornton Academy with a 1-goal lead after 40 minutes of play in Saco. Excellent first half by the Trojans. And now they'll need to maintain that same intensity in the second half and maybe come up with the tremendous upset. Trojans coming in ranked number 12 The Rams, number 4. Jay Harper and Ben Lozier with you. Steve Poulos doing our camera work. Getting stats and heel point standings from the guru, the institution. He said he should be institutionalized, and I said, well, I didn't want to say it, but since you did,
I'll
we'll
have to
use
agree
it.
with him there.
But a great first half of soccer played by the Thorne Academy boys team, and they head to the locker room and get fan support as they go in. And now they got to not rest on the laurels of the first half. There's another 40 minutes to play, and you know this Deering team can light it up in a hurry. So still a long road to hoe, but hopefully the Trojans can pull the upset here this afternoon. We're going to take a break and come back with second half action. You're watching Thornton Boys Soccer on CTV 30.
If you love Chinese food, and who doesn't, the Oriental Express is about to become your favorite restaurant. Newly opened on Route 1 in Saco, the Oriental Express has great Chinese food at very reasonable prices. Eat in their pleasant dining room and no tipping, or call up and take out from their pickup window. The Oriental Express is a place to satisfy your late-night munchies, open Friday and Saturday till 2 a.m. Combination plates always available, and check their weekly specials. From beef lo mein to cashew shrimp, your favorite dish from the Oriental Express. Don't go home without it.
Tired of eating where the prices are hearty and the food is fair? Then let the Carey family take you back a century and dine where the food is hearty and the prices are fair. For 16 years, the Careyman Pub has been an institution of fine family dining at affordable prices in a warm, rustic atmosphere. Upstairs, the pub is the place to be from Thursday through Saturday, with karaoke on Thursday and live entertainment Friday and Saturday. So whether it's to unwind for lunch or after work, or a sumptuous dinner and dancing, visit the Careyman Pub for a bit of the Emerald Isle right here in Maine.
And you don't think Saco's sewer system needs improvement? Think again. The EPA has required that over $3 million of modernization be done within the next 2 years. Updating Saco's sewer system will create more jobs and at the same time a cleaner environment. Don't drop the ball. On November 2nd, be on the winning team by voting yes on the sewer improvement bond. Paid for by the Saco Business Association.
Feeling an upset in the making as the Trojans head to the second half, leading 2-1. Thorne Academy getting goals in that first half. First one by Seth Landry, assisted by Nate Allery. The second by Jamie Waterhouse on a fantastic play by Robert Pribish, setting up Waterhouse, and Waterhouse making a great move himself to get it by goaltender Tyrone Daniels. And that all coming after Deering had broke on top 5:06 into the first half on a goal by Derek Schelling, assisted by Paul McKenzie. Jay Harper and Ben Lozier with you. Steve Poulos doing the camera work this afternoon, and so far treated to an excellent 40 minutes of soccer. And let's hope this Thorne Academy 11 can maintain the pressure and presence and pull off maybe the unthinkable. Deering, an excellent team, playing the #1 ranked Blue Blazes yesterday to a 3-3 tie. And Ben, when you look at the top 4 records of the top 4 teams, 11-1-2 Westbrook, 10-1-2 Cape Elizabeth, 11-1-1 Bonnie Eagle, and Deering 10-2-1. Those records are all very similar and very close, and the heels indicate that there's not much separating the top 4 teams. Thorne Academy could really finish off their season on a high note with a W today.
When you look at Deering, they're all walking around with their heads down, and Thornton's just pumped up.
Let's hope they keep the intensity, but also don't get too pumped up and out of control. They've
Yeah,
played
they got to keep their poise.
and they still got to stay offensive-minded. You don't want to sit back on a 1-goal lead and just try to keep it out of your end. You got to work for the offense and try to put that second goal. Pribish coming in, he's got some room, chips it for Waterhouse, loose on the side, a chance for Dunham. Oh!
Just pops it over.
Up and over the net as Dunham had Tyrone Daniels at point-blank range.
You know what he's thinking right now? Give me that one back.
Dunham has to just regroup. Forget about it, Jeff. It's over, it's done with. Keep the same consistent play going. A good play again by Pribish. As he sent it across for Waterhouse, he couldn't quite get it, but it rolled through the crease, and there was Dunham.
Dunham, the most skillfully sound player on this team, no doubt. You don't see him miss those too much.
Dunham, one of the seniors, playing their last game this afternoon. It's got to be an emotional one, and if they win this today, that's something they'll remember for the rest of their lives. No question about it. That last game, a chance again. McKenzie breaks in, Schelling cutting across the middle, and Mahesh Paler there to break it up. Good centering chance from Paul McKenzie to Derek Schelling. As you get a look at goalkeeper parity. Paler and Apicella right there. Centered in the middle, good head, and Paler booms it up and out. Back chasing is Seth Rogoff in the middle for Waterhouse. Waterhouse with
Frank
Apicella
right there.
breaking on the side. Behind him is Dunham. Dunham trailing the play. And a nice break up by number 16 for the Rams, Denny Albert. And then Dunham takes one off the body and rolls over Dunham.
Dunham going to the ball hard there.
Duquette, Apicella. Apicella turns, tries to turn back, gets knocked off the ball.
I'm really impressed with Duquette working on Peter McKenzie today. He's doing a real great job.
Jake Duquette played a very good first half, and especially the first 5 or 10 minutes, Duquette seemed to be in there a lot, breaking up plays. Nice tackle by Dunham, and Dunham gets hammered to the ground. Let's see what the call is. Dunham still down and a little bit of pain. And the Thornton ball keeper comes in and slams the ball down and says, yeah, it's ours right there. Who is that running the balls in?
Ken Parody.
Well, let's give Ken a little credit. That must be Bill's brother then, right?
Yeah. Former goalie of Thornton also.
He's pumped up. It's a little chip shot popped up in the air and then again headed out. Double head job by the Rams. And look out, here comes McKenzie. This time it's Paul. Paul working in the middle as the Trojans trying to get back. Punch up for brother Peter. Peter got a room and fires it in, and a good save by Bill Parody.
He's got one of the hotter shots in the league, I would have to imagine.
And I'll tell you what, they got that ball upfield in about 8 seconds. Ahead by Cowley, ahead by McKenzie. McKenzie runs it up, sends it over to his brother Peter, and Peter fires in on Parody. And just like that, Thornton goes from a corner, actually not even a corner, a close indirect kick to being on the defensive side and Parody having to make the save in the middle. And a good head ball. Again, Cowley doing a great job back there using his head. He not only breaks up plays with his head, he sends it out good 15, 20 feet and clears the zone in a hurry. Punched back in. Chance for Apicella. Pokes it up. Apicella and Dunham going for it. And it'll be a throw-in for Thornton Academy. This, a very exciting contest. What a difference from the last two. Thornton right in there, and they're playing toe-to-toe with the Deering Rams.
Once again, Jake Duquette right there, breaking up the play nicely.
Allery pops it up down the sideline. Deering has to play it, and they'll kick it out of bounds. It'll be another toss in for the Trojans. Looking for something, trying to get Pribish in the middle. Pribish pops it up. Waterhouse in there, along with Allery. Waterhouse out with it, trying to send it back for Pribish. Pribish unable to really get much foot on it. The right idea about Waterhouse, but he just couldn't get enough foot back to Pribish. Pribish would have had one from about 25 yards out. Gaines gets bumped off the ball. There should have been a call there as he hit the ball, and then he got knocked and he couldn't get to his own ball. Sent up the sideline for Peter McKenzie. Duquette giving chase. Gets by Duquette. Here comes Paler. Pop back for Schelling. Schelling with room. Fires at point blank range. It goes up in the air. And what are they calling? There was no hand there. It hit off the side of the shoulder.
Whoa. So you can't call that, really.
The other ref right behind the play does not call it. What is the call? Unbelievable. They're going to give them a penalty kick. My goodness. You see Deering, all their players raising their hands saying, "Coach, let us take it." Bill Moses, the head coach of Deering, has to pick one. He goes with number 23. And this game has just turned on a very, very questionable call. Bill Parody now standing in the net, waiting for the whistle. Here we go. Kenzie walks up slow, punches it, save!
What a save, Bill Parody. Wow.
Back in, he has to make another one!
That's just a great play by Bill Parody. Punches that one out.
Unbelievable. Bill Parody, 2 in a row. The first one was magnificent. The second one was just great presence, and the Trojans avoid the tying goal. Apicella now with it for the Trojans. Off for Dunham.
That's the second penalty kick he saved this year out of, I think, 3.
What a play by Parody. And that coming against the very athletic and exciting soccer player of Peter McKenzie. McKenzie walked up diligently and then just poked it with his left foot for the far corner, had good foot on it, and Parody came diving across the net and knocked it to the far sideline. That was sent right back in on a high looping kick. Could have easily just gone over his head. Thornton Academy staves off a great opportunity by the Rams.
Bill's got to be the happiest man on that field right now.
Oh, that was amazing. This is soccer, folks. You're seeing it here this afternoon. Regardless of the outcome, Thornton Academy Trojans have played one whale of a ball game.
Can't get over that save, Jay.
That was beautiful. I love to get excited. In case you don't know already, by listening to my broadcast, I just love great sporting play. In the middle!
Oh, great.
Still loose!
Nate running through that.
Wow. 2 more great chances on the Thornton Academy corner.
Number 11, David Ironman.
Thornton Academy leading 2-1, 32:45 to play, second half. Jay Harper along with senior Ben Lozier. We're witnessing a beauty. This a keeper. And the keeper being Bill Parody this afternoon. Still a lot of time left in this one, far from over, but the Trojans have been electrifying. Playing inspired. Pribish, a lot of room in the middle. Apicella flies down the sideline, as does Dunham. They poke the ball up, broken up by the Rams. And that time, maybe Pribish should have looked to send one in. I think Daniels has been a little shaky today, and I would take some chances and throw some at him and see what he does, because he really has been shaky on the afternoon. And now a Deering player is down on the far sideline. It looks like number 25, Leo Files. Let's hope that young man's okay.
Getting back to Daniels, I don't think he's been tested too much this year. We saw a scrimmage against Scarborough, and Scarborough's goalie scored on a punt, so you got to start shooting on this kid.
Wait a minute. The Scarborough goalie scored on a punt?
Yes, he's got an incredible punt, but it bounced, I'd say, 5 feet in front of Tyrone Daniels, and it bounced right over his head into the net.
Wow.
I mean, that's the first time I've ever seen that happen. So.
I would have loved to have seen that. That has got to be. The Trojans, again, getting psyched up, talking to one another, and keeping the momentum and adrenaline flowing as they try to pull off the upset. Leading 2-1, 32:08 to play. Files is down on the far side for the Rams. I'd like to thank the parents of Thorn Academy boys soccer team. Great support and helping us bring this to you. And Rick St. Ange doing a wonderful job at getting sponsors for these 3 contests we've covered. And finally, the first 2 really paying off.
We'd like to wish them the best of luck in the playoffs.
And now we'll bring in head coach of the Thorn Academy girls soccer team, the #1 ranked Thorn Academy girls soccer team, Scott Nason. Scott, glad you could be with us once again. Another thrilling victory for you yesterday, a 5-1 win over Catherine McCauley, avenging one of your 2 losses this season. And it looks like with the win by York yesterday over Greeley, you should keep that #1 ranking into the playoffs right now.
Yeah, we're looking. George Mandros, who does our heel points, says he's 99% sure that we'll stay #1, and that's where we certainly would like to end. If not, we'll drop down to 2. But I think right now it's looking pretty good. We're going to stay at #1.
Now the top 7 get in the girls, and then you would play the winner of what? Which game? The 4-5 game?
Yes, we'd play the winner of the 4-5 game, which is right now, by looks of things, is the Westbrook Bonnie Eagle game.
No easy one there either, really. Both those teams very good. Westbrook 8-3-2, Bonnie Eagle 6-2-5, and boy, either one of those teams probably have some good playoff experience, especially the Blue Blazers, and that's something you got to be a little bit concerned with only being a 2-year program, really not having any playoff experience. Do you worry about the girls' nervousness and nerves going into the playoffs?
That was a concern that I did have a little while ago, but as we get further into the season, they are dealing with pressure pretty well, and also a lot of them have a lot of experience in the track with dealing in championship meets and things like that, so I think we'll be okay.
Good point that you bring. Other sports definitely reflect and will give you experience, and you can carry that over into another sport even though you haven't been there in that sport. It's a very good point that you bring up. Of course, girls track for Thorn Academy has been great for a number of years, and that should help you as well. Now, your assessment of this game, we're just having a ball, and this is a great contest by the Trojans to this point.
Yeah, I think the boys are playing a great game. This would be a great way for them to end their season. Give those underclassmen a little something to feed off for next year and let those seniors enjoy this last game of the year. They're playing a great game.
Poked out, Waterhouse coming in, and there's Cowley to pop it over the sideline. It'll be a throw-in for the Trojans. 31:15 to play, and Thorn Academy still holding on to the 2-1 lead.
Honestly, Deering's lucky that it's only 2-1 at this point.
Definitely. Thorn's had 2 great chances here in the second half. And then, of course, though, Bill Parity saving a couple of big chances for the Rams. On the goal kick. Penalty shot by Peter McKenzie and a brilliant save. And just doing everything right today. The adrenaline definitely flowing for Thorn Academy as they're pumped, and hopefully they can carry this for another 30 minutes.
Well, I guess that's a little justice. I didn't feel that was the best penalty call on the PK. Unintentional handball, certainly not deserving of a penalty shot. So, yeah, somebody was looking out for Thornton there.
I thought so, too. I really questioned that call. Tap. Fake. Look to punch it in. Goes in the middle. Cowley sends it over the end line. It'll be a goal kick for the Trojans. Nate Allery goes over to take it. Thorn Academy faithful down below. Really into this one as we are. Good centering ball in the middle. Waterhouse. Now Dunham maybe pops it up, and it gets knocked out by the Rams. And there's Paler. Paler will send it high back into the middle.
Got to get rid of those opportunities a little bit quicker inside the 18 like that. Don't really have time to trap the ball and then shoot it.
There, dangerous play by Cowley, but maybe a great one because that was headed to the far side of the net, and Cowley caught it in the air and kicked it away before Daniels had to make the save. And another corner for the Trojans. Dunham takes this one. Nice one in the middle. There's the ever-present Cowley to head it out of there. Still loose, though. Trojans keeping the pressure on. Nice rolling kick, and Daniels makes the save and rolls it up the sideline for Paul McKenzie. McKenzie now trying to work his magic in the middle.
It's a little more what we were talking about with Seth Landry, getting rid of that ball a little quicker with a one-touch instead of trying to trap it and then go.
Dunham with a good move, looks in the middle for Waterhouse. And that time called for the hand, and a good call, rolled up his body. Hand was out in front. Now looking at Westbrook Bonnie Eagle, if everything stays the way it is, your matches within this year, and how do you feel you match up with those two teams?
We beat Westbrook 2-0, and I think we played positively the best game of the season. For us in that game, we tied Bonnie Eagle 1-1 a little earlier on in the season. Both of them were away at their fields. Bonnie Eagle, I felt we played a very sluggish first half and played much better in the second half, but you know, sometimes Bonnie Eagle has a tendency to settle for the ties. As you can see where they already have 5 ties on the season, so that's how they gain a lot of their points, is when they don't feel things are going well for them, they'll pull back a little bit.
Number 15, Derek Schelling.
So the fans at home got to understand as well, again, the #1 ranking, a terrific season, but now the playoffs, and there are some great teams in the top 4 or 5, so no easy first round matchup, and actually it'll be a second round matchup. No easy game, no matter who you face, and the girls got to be ready to play.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're enjoying a little time off right now. With yesterday being the last game of the season, I've got the luxury of giving them a little time off where we have 2 weeks before we'll have to play a game. The hard part and the scary part is you hope that they don't go a little stale on you. So I'm in the process of seeking out a few places to give me some scrimmages, or at least one scrimmage, to keep them going, keep the legs a little fresh. And hopefully they'll get refocused and we'll be able to make a charge all the way to the end. We'd like to.
Yeah, 2 weeks, a long time to wait before a match.
That's the only bad part I can see about coming in first, is you get that 2 weeks off, and that first round bye is not going to help us. If it can let those injuries heal up a little bit, but like you said, if we don't come out and if we just take the 2 weeks off, we could be in trouble.
Daniels now will punt it out, and he booms one all the way up to midfield. Thurlow blocks it, but there's McKenzie, and now Mahesh Paler up to head it out of bounds. And the exact date now, you'll be home in the date, so everyone that watches this can get prepared and get ready to come to Hill Stadium and watch that playoff contest.
Well, if everything goes the way we think, and and we do end up #1, it should be Wednesday, October 27th at 3 o'clock right here. And like we said, the winner of the 4-5 game. So,
again, that's if everything stays the way it is right now and the way that our guru has predicted.
Yeah, I mean, there's some things that can change a little bit tomorrow. Deering and Edward Little playing each other is a big game. That could hurl Deering right up as far up as #3, and in which case then I'm looking at playing the Sanford Westbrook winner, and that's not much fun either.
Dunham with a shot, and he fires it wide. Exactly. There's no easy games in that top 5 or 6.
No, there isn't.
A lot of great clubs, and Portland right now ranked #7, and they knocked you off the other day 2-1 on Columbus Day, a game that was scheduled for 10. It got moved to 3:30, and you have to attribute that loss a little bit to the fact that your girls get all pumped up. They come up here for a 10 o'clock game, and they get sent home and have to wait around for 5 hours and come back and retool.
Yeah, it makes it difficult, but, we didn't come out and play well. So, I mean, Portland certainly played a very good game against us.
Schelling loose in the middle, and he tries to boom it. It's blocked. Schelling gets another chance. Slips down and then kicked out of there by St. Onge. And a big Big, scary moment for the Trojans. Good job by Landry. Pokes it away from Deering. Back up. Duquette sends it down the sideline for Waterhouse. Waterhouse coming. He'll poke it back for Dunham. But a good play there by Colley. He has been sensational for Deering. Without his play, Thornton could be up 4-5.
Yeah, that's a yellow card.
That could be a yellow, then a red. As Denny Albert, very frustrated. Very, very frustrated.
I mean, they could have yellow carded him originally for the intentional handball, just picking the ball up, but then it was just stupid kicking the ball up into the bleachers.
Thurlow now will take the direct kick for the Trojans. Leading 2-1, down to 24-25 to play second half. Jay Harper with head coach of the Thornton Academy girls team, Scott Nason, right now. On standby is Ben Lozier. Booming kick in, and Daniels makes the play. An excellent kick by Thurlow, put it on net. And we were just saying, if I was Thornton, I'd start sending some Daniels' way. He's been shaky all afternoon. Apicella sends it for Dunham. Dunham tries to punch it back for Thurlow. Thurlow sends it across, headed up in the air, and Landry's over there giving chase. Seth Landry with one of Thornton's 2 goals this afternoon. He's broken up by Paul McKenzie, and they'll whistle the foul against Landry.
Tyrone's an ex-football player. He was a football player last year and tore up his knee pretty badly last year playing football, and I guess has decided to give soccer a try for a while.
Pribish tries to punch it up for Apicella. Dunham takes it and pops it down the side. Cowley heads it and then loses it out of bounds. Any of the yesterday's action you want to mention? Maybe that one goal that your team gave up, or the Nikki Motiel rush. Do you want to talk about either of those?
Well, Nikki just is going to use that as proof that she needs to play more offense for me. She's had a breakaway that she decided to try to run through the goalie with instead of trying to go around her, and then my goalie got caught just a little too adamant in her celebration about a friend's goal, and that's how they got their goal a little bit. She wasn't quite backing in position when she should have been.
Good play by Perry, lets it roll over the end line.
She's just lucky we were up 5-0 when that happened to her.
Re-entering for Deering, number 16, Denny Albert.
Thornton's playing a really smart game today. Not playing around with the ball much in the backs and not dribbling too much. They've been releasing the ball pretty quickly, and that's kept Deering off guard the whole game.
Thornton fans looking for a call on that one. Possible hand broken up by Duquette. But there's the Rams. And a chance for Peter McKenzie. He's in close. Shot hits the post. It's loose in the middle. But fortunately, a big bounce out. And then hammered up and over by Schelling. My goodness.
That was a tremendous shot. He struck that with the outside of his foot, which created the spin on it that it did.
And then it hit the post so hard it kicked past the 2 Deering players, barreling in on Parody. Another big break, and Ben, you'd have to say maybe the second big break of the season for Thornton Academy. Ben said earlier that was their first big break that they got, and that would have to be the second. And again, wow, these kids are dangerous in Thornton Academy, just staying in there. Parody's been playing superb in the nets.
That's the scary thing. When the McKenzies are on the field, they're both very dangerous. The only knock against them sometimes is when you get in this situation, they try to take over and do too much. They're both talented players, and if they play within the confines of the team, they're very successful. But I've watched them before, and they have a tendency to try to take things into their own hands.
Nice throw down the sideline, and here comes Paul McKenzie, able to get the ball, streaking across the middle. Deering now turning it up a notch for Schelling. Schelling line drive, save, Parody. Thornton now being tested many times. The defense getting a little bit sloppy, and Deering turning it up a notch. As we're down to the 20-minute and 40-second mark of the second half. Thornton Academy still leading 2-1. Thornton would love nothing more than to get a added goal here and give themselves 2-goal cushion to work with in the final 20 minutes. But so far, the last 4 or 5 minutes, it's been all Deering. But Parady's been equal to the task. Good headed ball, and again, it's McKenzie. Duquette trying to mark him up. Pop back in the middle for Eli Small. Small back down in, and there's Paler. And Paler doesn't turn on it enough and sends it just directly out of bounds. I think Mahish wanted to get that further up the sideline. And they'll throw it back for Denny Elbert, who got a yellow card moments ago. In the middle, and a nice headed ball by McKenzie. McKenzie, look out. Here he is, point blank again, and he's got it. He's got the equalizer. You can't give that kid 5 chances in a row and expect Parody to come up with them all.
Nice move going in between the two defenders there. Inside the 18, you shouldn't be lunging at the ball quite so much, and especially with a player like McKenzie who will make you do that. He'll show you the ball, and then just as soon as you lunge for it, he'll take it away.
Deering goal scored.
Comes at 20 minutes and 10 seconds.
By number 23.
Boy, he's had some brilliant shots. He got denied on his penalty kick, but after 2 or 3 more tries, he comes back. Scott Nason now heading out of the booth, and we'll send it back to Ben Lozier. Scott, thanks for joining us as the girls now head to the playoffs. And just watch your papers and keep listening to us, because we feel
Re-entering the game for Thornton, number 17.
that they'll stay the #1 ranking, get a bye, and then be playing on the 27th of October here at Hills Stadium. Great season for Coach Nason and the girls team, and Thornton boys team trying to finish up on a strong note. And Ben, your assessment of the last 5 minutes, Deering really turning it up and getting many opportunities on Parody, and that one just a brilliant shot again by Peter McKenzie.
I tell you, that shot before that, when it hit the post, it was a rip. Surprised the goal still standing down there.
2-2 our score. 19 minutes to play in the contest. Deering again in the middle and kicked out of there by Allery. Thornton has had the play in their end for the last 4 or 5 minutes. They try to get an offensive threat going.
They don't seem to be going to the ball quite as well as they did in the first half.
Well, the first 10 minutes of the second half, they were going to the ball great again, and they had all the chances. But it got turned around by the Rams, and finally McKenzie cashing in on one of his many shots in on Parody, and many brilliant shots.
Parody really had no chance at down right in the corner.
And I would have to attribute that to the fact that McKenzie was almost like a great pitcher. Kept setting him up inside. He kept going to the short side on Parody, and that time he sent it across to the far side and got a good shot in on Daniels, but it falters and flutters. Daniel quickly pops it up in the middle. Good headed ball by Allery.
No. See,
That's a terrible call because of the 2 that they let go earlier against Deering. Horrendous call. Allery got all ball and then just bumped the body afterwards.
he went straight up, though. I mean, that's what you're taught to do, go straight up for the ball, which he did.
And now he's over talking to that referee. And there's Cowley with a boom out. Up for McKenzie. McKenzie, watch him work. He can dribble the soccer ball, folks. And we've marveled at Jamie Ladakakis for the girls team all season. This is boys action for Dunham. Dunham trying to come in. Broken up by Cowley. Back for Dunham, though. Dunham trying to turn on it. He sends it in. Looking for Waterhouse. It's still loose. A chance and a booming kick by Landry, but he sends it wide. And again, I don't blame him. You're in the 20 to 25 yard mark on the field. I say hammer it in on Daniels. Still a long way to go. 17 minutes, 10 seconds now remain. Thornton now able to turn the tides a little bit and apply some of their own pressure.
It doesn't get much better than this, Jay. It's just a great soccer game.
Now Schelling comes down the far side. Coming on Paler. Paler spots him up and knocks it out. And again, you can tell the type of player Derek Schelling is. He is pumped and he just loves this game, and he goes full speed. He was upset that he didn't get the move on Paler, but Deering now will get the corner. Again, Any mistake now will be critical. 2-2 tie between the Trojans and the Rams. Trey with a nice ball in the middle, and Parody able to get up and just get a piece of it with his hand and send that one out. And a good job by Privish sending it up the sideline. He's played a spectacular game today. Rob Privish. Deering with a throw-in. Thrown down the side, broken up. Good play by Allery, and then he booms it out of bounds. Loose, and here comes McKenzie. Paul sends it back for Peter. Peter in the middle, trying to work some magic. Gets it over for Schelling. Schelling dancing around the ball and can't get to it.
That time McKenzie played with it a little too much.
They're very patient, though, with the ball and in close and in a lot of traffic, and they usually able to get the pass off to a teammate. And that time, Paul to Peter to Derek Schelling. Peter McKenzie collecting his 10th goal on the season. Schelling now at 12, their leading scorer. Groff is out of action. Nice ball in the middle for Waterhouse. Waterhouse has to stop and go back for it. Able to maintain, looking up for Dunham. Dunham trying to come in on Colley, but you need a couple of steps if it's close. Burt Colley will usually make the play.
I haven't seen too many balls getting past him today.
Cowley, throwback to the 70s with a ponytail. And hair does not make the player, folks. He is brilliant. Of course, the Philadelphia Phillies using long hair as Hercules. Or Samson, excuse me. Got my fictional characters mixed up. Down the sideline for Schelling. Broken up by Thurlow. Thurlow trying to do a little too much over there and loses it out of bounds. A throw in for the Rams. Looking in the middle for McKenzie. And a good job by Mahesh Paler, hammering it all the way up to Waterhouse. And now, in the late call, as
He was offside, so.
Dunham tried to stop. Schelling, Colley knew just what he was doing as he came up and tried to draw Dunham offside. Dunham tried to stop and get back, but from our angle, I would have to agree that he actually was offside. Coach Jen Davis of Thornton was livid.
What I don't understand is the late call.
So late.
Got all the fans going.
Cowley kept begging for the call as he ran down the field, and finally the referee said, yeah, right. That would have been a huge chance for the Trojans. Waterhouse barreling in with Jeff Dunham. Deering again coming in, and they call the bump on Thorn Academy. Deering with another close chance. McKenzie brothers come up. Hammer and kick, and Parody staying low and handling the rocket ball coming at him.
A shot like that, you can score from a good 25 yards out.
Certainly. Even if you're in the right position, that could get through you. Paler loses it, and in comes the McKenzies with Schelling. Ball goes wide. Peter and Paul and Sister Mary in the bleachers. They've been running rampant on the Trojans in the last 15 minutes. Albert sends it off the far sideline, trying to keep it in bounds. And they do, and out comes Paul McKenzie. Good ball in, and
Nice
Parody
save.
with a good save. From this angle, couldn't tell if that was going to go wide or not, but It was a last-second save. 11:30 to play in the contest. We may be headed for overtime. Our score tied 2-2. Deering took a 1-0 lead 5 minutes into the contest. Thornton back 30 seconds later to tie it. And then a 4 minutes later, they got the go-ahead goal. And then Deering, 20 minutes and 10 seconds into the second half, have tied it up. It's 2-2. This is starting to be deja vu all over again as the Mackenzies keep coming and coming and coming. Trojans really need to pump it up for this final 10 minutes.
Now in the game for Deering, number 11, David Ayerman, I'm sorry. And number 9, Cathon Jake Duquette.
Dunham spins, gets a good ball into the middle. Broken up by Deering. Goes to Paul Mackenzie. Paul working, broken up by Pribish. Pribish was going to take it, but then he thought Dumais had it. And here comes Mackenzie again. Got his brother in the middle. Looks for him, broken up. Back in. There's a little tip kick. Another great chance. It didn't look dangerous because a little short kick, but Ironman just tried to tap it to that far corner.
Both Mackenzies playing a much better second half than they did in the first. Getting in the open field.
They are lighting it up. Seems like every time we turn around, one of them's got the ball and streaking down the side. Thornton has played an awesome game.
Nice step up there by Pribish.
Pribish with a great step up, goes for Waterhouse. Waterhouse back for Dunham. Dunham
So
looking
you
in the
shoot it-
middle.
Gotta shoot it from there.
Exactly. You got enough breathing room to fire a shot off. Fire it in. Challenge Daniels. Pribish again back, breaking it up, but stolen back away by Peter Mackenzie. And again from this familiar left angle. He's got a great left foot. Chalk up another field goal for him, but nothing happening in this one.
Re-entering Cathon, number 16, Scott Fournier.
Fournier gives Dumais a break. Lining kick out of there by St. Ange. Actually Thurlow. And now we'll play head ball in the middle. Albert trying to get it. Dunham working against him. Dunham sends it off to the side. Apicella gives chase. It's the two number 11s. Ironman and Apicella go after it. It'll be a throwing for the Rams. As the Deering players come over after their JV contest. So Deering now has the JV team here also to help cheer him on. And Thornton trying to pull the upset. Mackenzie again barreling in. And they both go down, and Duquette gets back up and sends it out. Good play by Jake Duquette. St. Ange pops it up for Dunham. Dunham trying to get it for Waterhouse. Waterhouse looking up the sideline. Apicella over there with Albert. Albert pops it up and knocks it out of bounds. It'll be a toss-in for the Trojans. This one might have to be called because of dark if it goes to overtime. 4 o'clock start today. We had a 3:30 start with Bonnie Eagle on Tuesday, and I have to wonder why you go to 4 o'clock with Deering. They're closer than Bonnie Eagle. Can't they get here for 3:30? They were here. They were here like 15 after. This late in the year, you should make sure you get 3:30 starts. Again, now the game really taking on international play excitement. The crowd is getting into it. A 2-2 score.
It's a great chance right here for the corner.
Thorn Academy with the rare corner here in the second half. Dunham chips it over for Apicella. Apicella across the middle. Shot in!
Oh.
Partially blocked by Deering. They'll get another. Great passing. St. Ange, Apicella, and Dunham. Dunham wants a different ball. And again, Apicella stays back. And let's see if they'll go to that again. This time they'll pop it in the middle. Going up and heading it. St. Ange, he can't quite get enough air to get a solid line drive head on it. He pops it up, and Deering will have the goal kick out. And Peter McKenzie will get a well-deserved breather. They'll give him probably about a 2-minute blow and then send him back for the final 4. 6:20 to play in the contest, or in regulation, we should say at this point. A 2-2 score between the Trojans and the Rams. Deering coming in ranked number 4, Thornton at 12. Thornton just trying to finish up the season with an upset victory. Deering looking to keep their number 4 ranking intact, possibly creep up to number 3.
On any other day, I think Thornton would be happy with a tie, but last game of the season, they're looking for the win.
Look out. Break-in chance for Schelling. Getting back is Thurlow. Thurlow gets in front of him, and Duquette marking up against Ironman. Pass across, looking for Teiselar, and Teiselar can't get to it, goes out of bounds. Thurlow now down, and
College soccer at its best. Deering High School will be the site for tomorrow night's game between Holy Cross and the University of Maine at 7:30. That's tomorrow night at Deering High School.
Thurlow down on the field. The clock will stop with 5:23 to play. And Deering has the upcoming corner. Every corner now becomes an epic drama. Again, Thurlow still being attended to, and Deering now will gather up, talk it over, as will the Trojans. Jay Harper along with senior forward Ben Lozier, out for the final 3 games of the season, joining us in the broadcast booth. Thurlow now up and walking off slowly. As this has been a whale of a contest here at Hills Stadium in Saco. Here comes the corner for the Rams. Thurlow walking off real slow. The officials now blow the whistle, and we're live.
It's a big loss. Thurlow's playing a great game in stopper.
Loose in the middle. And a dangerous kick by Deering. Thorn Academy avoids that corner.
These are the times you could use Thurlow. His goal kicks, can get him out to midfield consistently.
Apicella and Privish up for Dunham. Dunham streaking down the sideline. In comes Cowley, look out. And he takes him out and takes the ball out. And no call on the bump. Cowley over checking the player, and I again have to credit Burt Cowley as a tremendous player and also a very good sport as well, because he went right over to Dunham after and tried to check to see if he was okay, and he took a knee as well as they collided on the knees, and Cowley certainly not wanting to hurt his opponent, just trying to go in and break that one up.
Seen great sportsmanship through the whole game.
Really have seen a lot of that from Deering, and very impressed with the Rams, besides the few rough moments that we got from Denny Helbert when he got upset that he did the handball and boomed it out of bounds. Deering has been a great bunch. And this, a wonderfully played soccer contest. Deering has had their hands full with the Trojans all afternoon. Clock again stopped for the injury of Dunham. Dunham will head right back over to check back in, having to check out because of the injury. Allery with a throw-in, headed up in the air, gains back up in the air. Another.
It was all over him in there.
And they call it against the Rams. Finally, the Trojans get one of those calls. And Thorn Academy.
Everybody seems to be lining up to take the kick. Only one of you can take it.
Thornton may be working on a play. They might be looking for something, and they're now backing up the Ram players, and in comes a Thornton Academy player. 4:20 to play in the contest.
Want to get this one on net.
And here comes Apicella. Apicella booms it.
Oh,
Ooh,
just wide.
just goes wide. He had the corner picked. Half a foot back in, and he had the top corner in the highest place possible. 4 minutes to play now, and here comes Burt Cowley to boom it away. Knocked out of bounds by St. Ange. It'll be a toss-in for the Deering Rams.
See a little sun peeking through now.
Sun setting, the clouds opening up and giving us a nice little sunset at Hill Stadium. Pribish, outstanding again, stepping in front of McKenzie and turning on the ball and kicking it upfield. Stolen by the Trojans. Looking up the far sideline for Landry. Landry trying to cross it. And Albert there to block it. Headed back in by Fournier. Loose for Waterhouse. Waterhouse trying to turn on it. He can't get a full foot on it, and it's knocked out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Thornton Academy. Trojans will be very happy to keep play in this end. And they've done a good job the last couple of minutes at keeping all the pressure on Deering. Waterhouse with a chance. Popped up in the air, and that'll go out of bounds and another throw-in as Scott St. Ange will take it again. Watch this long throw-in by this young man. High ball coming in just like a corner. Guess who's there with a head ball out? I don't need to even tell you if you've been watching this game. Stolen away. And now they say it went out of bounds, and Thornton Academy will get a throw-in. 2 minutes and 40 seconds in regulation as we're tied 2-2. Thornton Academy at 3-8-2 on the season. This would be by far their biggest victory of the year, or even tie if they could come away with that.
Like I said, though, they're looking for the win.
No question.
Last game of the season. These guys have played great today. I think they deserve a win.
Deering coming back on the offense. Long ball, Apicella punches it out. Deering punches it back in. Slipping just enough to not allow himself to get on the ball as Peter McKenzie, or he would have had a great chance. Mistake throw in there, you would have to think by Duquette. Just did the little toss for long shot, and it sails wide.
That's what Thornton's got to start doing, taking shots from about 25 yards out.
Heesh Paler now will take the kick out. Paler, good lining kick up the side, comes up to midfield. Matt Kaplan there for Deering, fighting with Waterhouse. Knocks it out of bounds. Thornton looking for a ball, and they can't find one. Clock ticks.
Miss Davis becomes the ball girl now.
Coach Jen Davis running after it, and that shows you Thornton doesn't want the tie. As they're firing after that ball, they want it. They want a chance to win this thing here in the final minute. Down under a minute to play. Thornton Academy and Deering, 2-2 our score. This has been a brilliant afternoon of soccer in Saco. And the Trojans trying to pull the upset, and Deering trying to stave off this upset bid by the Trojans. Dunham coming down. He's got Waterhouse way out in front.
In the middle.
And Waterhouse now goes over after it and poked out of bounds.
Surprise, surprise, Cowley there.
Cowley there again. Holy Cowley, he's there one more time. St. Ange across in the middle and popped right back out of there. Beautiful kick in the middle by Deering's, I believe that's number 19. Loose in the middle.
Oh,
That was so close.
it appear to be going to overtime pretty soon.
We're under 10 seconds to play. Looks like Thornton Academy and Deering will be headed to overtime, but look out, here comes McKenzie. Paler getting back.
He may be fast, but he can't get downfield in 2 seconds.
And that does it in regulation play. We'll head to overtime. Thornton Academy and Deering tied at 2. Jay Harper along with Ben Lozier and Steve Poulos working the camera. This has just been one heck of a game. And now we get bonus minutes as we get to enjoy this for another 5, and let's hope Thorne Academy can come away with a W. This will be heartbreaking if the Trojans lose this one. Deering has played well, but Thorne has just played so superbly. You would just hate to see them lose a game like this. They give them about a minute break, and then they'll play 5, and they actually flip a coin to see who will kick off. It's kind of comical, but we've seen some good offensive plays off the kickoff. Thornton had a brilliant one the other day against Bonnie Eagle that almost worked for him. And the captains, tri-captains for Thornton Academy, Dunham, Allery, and Thurlow shake hands with Cowley. And Albert, is it Albert number 16, the other?
Yeah, I think it is.
It's Denny Albert. He was playing under a yellow card. One more of that, and he'd be done for the day. Coach Jen Davis talking to her troops, and the Trojans gotta pump it up one more time. Go to the Reeboks, kids, and let's pump up. Thorne Academy just playing a sensational game.
I don't think they can get any more pumped up than they are right now.
Fox 51 sport cameras are here this afternoon, so I doubt you'd be able to catch that before, but that's kind of nice. Fox 51, 10 o'clock news, trying to cover some soccer. You don't see too much coverage of soccer play, and especially a game like this. Thornton Deering, just a last regular season game. Of course, they'll give us plenty of highlights in the playoffs when they come around, but they've been treated to some outstanding action. As Coach Bill Moses of Deering now out with his troops. Thorne Academy's Jen Davis over talking to Scott St. Ange, the senior player. St. Ange has played superbly today, as all of the Trojans who have got in the lineup. They've been outstanding from top to bottom, right down the roster.
No matter how this game ends, East Davis has got to be proud of the way Thornton's played today.
Certainly have. Now, they just play 1 5-minute overtime, or do they give them a second?
No, there's 2.
There's 2. So that's still hanging in the balance. Thornton looks like they'll kick off to start the first overtime. 2-2, our score. Thornton and Deering.
Getting kind of cold up here. I'd like to end it in the first one.
As long as it's ended by the team in white.
That's right.
Dunham knocks it out. It went off a Deering player, but they don't give it. And Dunham really upset with that, and I don't blame him. Missed call again, and look out. Here comes Peter McKenzie streaking down the far side. Stops, still with it. In the middle, Paler there, though, and Mahish will boom it up and out. Headed right back in, though, by the Deerings, and Mahish says, take that. Heads it back at him. Kicked in, and Deering offsides.
Very fortunate call, because it looked like Deering players were even with Thornton, and even is on. So, may have gotten another break.
Thurlow able to re-enter the contest here in overtime, and he booms a big kick up. Mahish Paler again, another nice booming ball down the deep side. After it is Burt Cowley. Waterhouse trying to steal it. Boy, if he could have got that one, he would have had a chance. Up for Trey. Trey in the middle. Dunham blocks it. Dunham kicks it in the middle. Goes for Apicella. Excuse me, Landry. Landry back for Pribish. Pribish sends it up for Dunham. Dunham across. Broken up in the middle. Sent back up the far sideline, and over is Jake Duquette. Duquette gets it for Apicella. Academy applying pressure in the middle, and a great headed ball out of there by Deering's Ryan Graney. Excellent move over there by Matt Kaplan. Gets it up the sideline. Trizalar, booming kick in the middle. Paler sends it back and out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Rams. Down to 3 minutes and 10 seconds to play in our first overtime. up the sideline. Pribish working over there, and Deering knocks it out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Thornton Academy. Deering broke on top, 5:06 to play in the first half. Getting the goal by Derek Schelling, assisted by Paul McKenzie. A great play by McKenzie. Deering led 1-0. 30 seconds later, Thornton Academy getting the goal from Seth Landry on the headed ball. Great play by Landry. And the Trojans tied things up at 1. 4 minutes later, Deering right back as they get the goal from Peter McKenzie. That it was 1-1, and then Thornton took the lead 2-1 on the goal by Waterhouse, assisted by Pribish, and then that's where we headed to the locker room. Thornton leading 2-1. Then 20 minutes and 10 seconds into the second half, it was Peter McKenzie getting the goal to tie things up at 2. And we played the final 20 minutes scoreless, and we're into overtime with 1:50 to play.
Thornton's pretty much controlling the play here in the overtime.
Graney with a good ball, look out, loose in the middle, and the shot just goes wide.
Nice one time there. It's a tough shot.
Peter McKenzie, ooh, that was oh so close. Thurlow now will try to send it out. Big kick up the sideline, headed by Trey. Gets a good ball to McKenzie. McKenzie trying to control it off his body. Goes to the corner, turns on it, gets it in the middle, and a great play by Paler. That could have beaten Parody. That thing was hammered right for the net, and Mahesh Paler was there. Good breakup play by Duquette. My. Looked like it could have beaten Parody, and Paler was there. Bill was holding the short side, and that one was headed across the front of the net, and it could have caught the far corner. Down under a minute to play in our first overtime. They'll play another 5 if it ends this way, and then it'll be ruled a tie if it concludes after the second overtime in a tie. Break-in chance for the Rams. They let it go. Shot goes wide.
That was definitely offsides. I don't know what the ref was talking about there.
Jen Davis is wild again with that official, and he does not call it. And boy, that was near catastrophe for Thornton Academy. And Schelling sent it wide of the net.
I think Schelling's going to have a headache when he goes home. He's beating himself up out there today.
Yeah, he has knocked himself a few times with his hands after missing. Look out, here comes Colley. That's a booming kick. And Parody comes over, guards the post, and lets it sail wide. And this has got to be just about over the first overtime, and that'll do it. Oh, scary, scary moments. Derek Schelling came in all by himself against Bill Parody. He went for the right corner, and he missed it by about 1.5 feet. So we played an overtime in Saco. Our score, Deering 2, Thornton 2. We got 5 more minutes, unless someone scores before that. And this has been a whale of a game. And again, maybe justice being served, because we certainly felt there should have been an offsides call. There wasn't. And that ball coming in on Parody just went wide, and it stays tied at 2.
These refs certainly haven't called a very good game today. At least the guy on the near side.
I think it's been a very clean played game by both teams, and that has afforded the referees to really not have to make too many tough calls, but they have missed a couple of gigantic calls, and both of them favoring Deering. Deering got the penalty kick on the first questionable one, and that one right there, almost a penalty kick, if you will, as Schelling came roaming in on Parody all by himself. 5 minutes put up on the board for our second overtime. And if we don't have a goal here, it'll end in a 2-2 tie. Thornton Academy ranked number 12, Deering number 4. Deering, of course, heading to postseason play. Thornton Academy just trying to finish up on a positive note. Here comes the Rams, breaking in. Paler booms it out, goes around, but Parody. Paler hammered that one off his own teammate, Duquette. Duquette a little shaken up. I think he caught that in the midsection. And Parody, though, alertly there to make the play. Loose. Thurlow takes it, chips it up the field. Blocked. Dunham now trying to work. Nice play by Thurlow. Thurlow trying to send it back, and he gets bumped, and they'll make the call against Kaplan. Thurlow got that long-range foot. He could send one in on Daniels from here, and Daniels bracing himself in the net now. Line drive kick coming through the middle, bouncing, and Daniels there before Thornton Academy could close in as Waterhouse came streaking across.
He stays pretty deep in the net, so.
Mallory blocking that one off his chest and trying to keep it in play. Deering working on that far sideline, trying to get it upfield and spinning, turning, twisting, churning. Look at him go. Someone let a top loose, and that being Paul McKenzie. Huge throw in again by St. Ange. Loose in the middle. Poked out. A chance though for the Trojans. A shot and hammered well wide. Dunham. He's had problems with his shots from that 20-yard range. He's had a couple of chances today, and he's hammered them well over the net. 3 minutes, 5 seconds remaining in the second overtime. Blocked by Waterhouse, and then poked up. Dunham comes flying in. There's Colley. Colley gets a kick up. Broken up by Apicella for Waterhouse. Waterhouse trying to make something happen. Back for Dunham. They chip it back for Pribish. Broken up. There's Schelling. Schelling looking for Trey. It'll roll out of bounds. Jen Davis pumped. She wants the ball in play. She stops it. Gets it for Apicella. Apicella now with a throw-in. Throws it up, and it's headed out of there.
Coach Davis was ready to throw that one in.
And they call the hand against Schelling, and Schelling kicks it away. And they stop the clock, and Thornton had to make that call themselves, and they'll give Schelling a yellow card. Delay of game, kicking the ball away like that, and they give him. He'll have to go sit down. Can't come back in until Deering gets control of the ball and has a throw-in on the sideline. And that's a chance now for the Trojans. 2:28 to play in our second and final overtime. Sun is setting in Saco. It's Thornton Academy now with another direct kick.
Look for Thurlow to put this one on goal and see everybody crash.
Here comes Thurlow. Looping kick, he sends it a little off the side. A headed ball there. Daniels couldn't get to it, and the Trojans just missed getting ahead on it as Dunham and Landry came flying in. Had they gotten ahead on that ball, that was a goal. And here comes Burke Cowley with his booming leg. Gets it up the far sideline. Broken up by Thornton Academy. Back in the middle, and Deering able to punch it out, but right to Pribish. Pribish now chips it up for Apicella. Apicella trying to make something happen in the middle. Kicked out. Pribish off to the side, looking for Dunham. Dunham, little move, back, spinning. It's pushed in the back, no call. Sends it in on Daniels, and Daniels makes the save on the short side. Down to a minute 40 to play in this one. As we said, this one has been a keeper, and it stayed that way throughout. A brilliant ball game by both clubs this afternoon, especially the underdog Trojans. Another throw-in, Apicella, and you got to applaud Thornton Academy play here in overtime. They have gone right at Deering. Now Trey with it. Punches it up. There's Duquette blocking it in the middle. Pribish coming through. Pribish staying with it. Trying to get a kickoff. Gets it up to side for Dunham. Here comes Cowley. Makes the move on Cowley, but he slips down. That might have been Thornton's first chance to get it by Burt Cowley, and unfortunately for the Trojans, Dunham slipped.
Thornton doing a good job keeping the ball down on their end this overtime period.
Thornton bench, Jen Davis, they all want the call. The referee stares down Coach Davis. Deering loses it back out of bounds. We're under a minute to play in the second and final overtime. Deering hasn't had many good chances, but Thornton can't fall asleep. Look out, a chance now. Good play over there by Allery to just hammer it out of bounds. The ball boy gets it in play. It's look out. Here's Paul McKenzie with some room. Sends it in the middle for Brother. Shot. Score! And that's a travesty. You got to hand it to Deering. They played a whale of a ball game, but that is a travesty. The call on the near sideline. It should have been Thornton's ball way up here on the out-of-bounds play, and they could have kept the pressure on. Thornton applying all the pressure in the world, and then one just quick break and a rush by the McKenzies, and
That's all it takes is the Mackenzies working together.
not sure of how much time was left in the second overtime. It had to be down around 30 seconds, 20 seconds, somewhere in that vicinity. As we were under the 1 minute mark, that's when they shut the scoreboard off and send it down on the field for the time. And tough loss for Thornton Academy. Brilliantly played ball game this afternoon, and can't take anything away from Deering, but Thornton Academy really outplayed the Rams today, and it's just a travesty they don't come up with a win or at least a tie, as Deering beats Thornton Academy 3-2 in the second overtime with approximately 25 seconds to play. As Thornton now stunned,
Hats off to Thornton's effort, though.
regroups and come back to shake hands. And they just played a sensational ball game today. Tribish and Mahesh Paler, Dunham all day long making charges up that sideline, and Bill Parody was spectacular in the net. I want to congratulate the seniors for their performance in their final game as a Thornton Academy soccer player. Eric Thurlow, Jeff Dunham, Frank Apicella, Scott St. Ange, and Nate Allery as they play their final contest. And of course, senior Ben Lozier, who's been superb in the booth for us the last two games, played his last contest about 3 games ago, and he has to feel for this team and certainly pulling for them today. And they were great.
That's the only word to put it. They were great today. Courageous.
They definitely were. Deering moves to 11-2-1 as they look to solidify number 4, and they could possibly sneak up ahead of Bonnie Eagle into number 3 spot. Thornton Academy finishes up their 1993 season under first-year coach Jen Davis at 3-9-2. Thanks to our sponsors for the last 3 games, the parents of the Thornton soccer team, Oriental Express, especially Rick St. Ange, who really brought all this together for us. And I'm also stunned up here. Just a brilliant game, and to see it fall in the final seconds when they totally dominated both overtime periods. And really, it came off a very questionable call.
It's a shame to go out that way.
Thornton Academy now tries to gather their thoughts and regroup. But we applaud their efforts this afternoon, and best of luck in your winter sports for all the kids down below. I know many of them go on and play other sports, and hey, it's just a game, and you played a whale of a game, and everyone in soccer was proud of you guys at this moment. And I thoroughly enjoyed this broadcast. Just a brilliant game to call, and one of the best games I've had the opportunity to call. It reminds me of the Deering Thornton girls game of last season. So for my cameraman, Steve Poulis, and my good buddy up here, Ben Lozier. Ben will look to get you up here as many times as we can in other sports too. I mean, just a great job, and if you're interested, you know, keep us in touch, because that's a nice, maybe a career opportunity for you, Ben.
Thank you.
All right, for Ben Lozier and Steve Poulis, I'm Jay Harper saying so long from Hills Stadium in Saco. Our final score, the Deering Rams 3, Thornton Academy 2 in double overtime. We'll see you again real soon.
Tired of eating where the prices are hearty and the food is fair? Then let the Carey family take you back a century and dine where the food is hearty and the prices are fair. For 16 years, the Careyman Pub has been an institution of fine family dining at affordable prices in a warm, rustic atmosphere. Upstairs, the pub is the place to be from Thursday through Saturday, with karaoke on Thursday and live entertainment Friday and Saturday. So whether it's to unwind for lunch or after work, or a sumptuous dinner and dancing, visit the Kerryman Pub for a bit of the Emerald Isle right here in Maine.
If you love Chinese food, and who doesn't, the Oriental Express is about to become your favorite restaurant. Newly opened on Route 1 in Saco, the Oriental Express has great Chinese food at very reasonable prices. Eat in their pleasant dining room and no tipping, or call up and take out from their pickup window. The Oriental Express is a place to satisfy your late-night munchies, open Friday and Saturday till 2 a.m. Combination plates always available, and check their weekly specials. From beef lo mein to cashew shrimp, your favorite dish from the Oriental Express. Don't go home without it.